Hey there everybody, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm painting the Polemarch. Well, I'm assembling the Polemarch first and then painting. This is one of the heroes or one of the characters from the starter set from the new Parabellum's Wargames Conquest, Nords versus the city-states. So this is from the new faction. Anyway, so this guy, the only problem I had with it was the cape. It was having a hard time. And finally got it on there, primed them in matte black with the Army Painter's matte black air primer, and then did a base coat of Tainted Gold over the entire miniature, except try not to get the cape too much because I'll be painting it different. But if you do, like I did here, it doesn't matter, a little overspray won't hurt. Anyways, yeah, so let's get started. So we're going to do a dry brush of shining silver now. What we're doing is trying to dull down a bit of that greenish effect in there, but we still wanted some of that there because his main part of the armor, which I'm not going to be painting over, is I wanted it to be this color. I want to be a little different than the rest of the army. However, I want to tie in that blue again, so I'm using dark sky as a base coat on that beautiful long cape of his. Wow, I couldn't even think of that for a second there. And as you can see, it covers up whatever that tainted gold was underneath, but even if it doesn't a little bit, it'll give a little hint of a shine, but that's not a big deal. We're going to cover up quite a bit of this cape with different layers of blue to really make it pop and really make it make him show that he's the leader on the field. There is another hero that you can buy separately. It is the Artistarch, I think it's called, or the Aristarch, something like that. I can't remember. You can get him separately, and at the moment there's not enough miniatures to make like a big full 2,000 point army. You could buy a couple hoplites and phalangites, anyways, and then build it up again, a couple more minotaurs. Alright, some Xenos Carapace. Now this is from the Zombicide Invader paint set, so it's a unique color, but it's almost like wolf gray. Yeah, and if you want to save 10% on these amazing miniatures by Parabellum Games, take a look at their link that popped up. Click on that and click on tap in East Mini 10, save 10%, and some of the profits also goes towards supporting this channel. So thank you very much for that. Take a look into it. Amazing miniatures again. As you can see, the details are just beautiful. You build them the way you want. Well, except for this guy, you really got to build them that way. There's only one pose for this guy, unless you know how to kit bash stuff. You can maybe arrange the arm in a different way, maybe the shield in a different way, the head could be looking somewhere else, but this is the way he's supposed to be built. Like, this is the assembly instructions, this is how he's gonna be, and that's it. Again, so this is what's cool about the city-states, is they seem to have like biomechanical parts, and this guy really seems to have a lot more. He has his arms and his legs, I find, in my opinion. And we're going to show you what I do with those a little later on. Some leather brown now, just for his pouch there. Also for the belt around his waist. There's not much else to paint with this. I also forgot to put a wash on it, but I didn't notice. And I only noticed later on. And I find it looks actually quite nice without a wash on top of it. Alright, a little bit of cobalt skin for the little amount of skin that he does have on his face. It's mostly just his eyes and his nose protruding. So just a little touch there, not much more there to do. Now we're going to do some edge highlighting or some highlighting or whatever you want to call it with some Griffin blue. So I'm getting just the edges, and I'm also going to do the side trims of his beautiful cape. I'm doing those top little edges there and getting pretty much like just the big ruffles and going slowly down there, and as if where the light would hit the most on this cape, and just trying to keep the recesses dark. Now again, I am new at doing this kind of highlighting. I usually dry brush if I want highlights, and sometimes it hits like the crevices a little bit more, like I would have had to go side by side, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna let that dry, and in the meantime I'm gonna do some Gravelord Gray speed paint over the biomechanical parts. So his 2 feet or his 2 legs and the 2 arms. And I found that having a Gravelord Gray over it kept that nice tainted gold look underneath, but giving it a darker metallic look and giving it almost like a biomechanical look, like a robotic arm or a prosthetic arm, maybe, you know, just a little bit different looking than the rest of his armor. Maybe I should have went with the Grim Black to make it even more dark, but I think the Gravelord Gray works here. You can always comment below what you think. Fog Gray, now we're going to do the very last highlight on his robe, and you can see I'm just trying to hit the middle part of that fog gray, not the fog gray, but of the other color I did before that, We're going to do a little bit more of that plumage on top there, or whatever it's called. The head dressing there, it looks like a mop or a brush bristles, like a brush bristle. And we're also going to do some of this on that other little fine parts of the skirt that he's wearing as well, just to get some edge highlighting done on there before putting on a wash later on. Alright, have you guys played Conquest? If you have, comment down below, let me know what your favorite army is. We're using a little bit of Azure Magic now, so this is a very light blue metallic paint from the Army Painter. And I'm just deciding to go here and there with it across some of the miniature on that shield. Just look at that shield, how great it looks now. I'm like, where else can I put this? Ah, here's belt buckle here. I'm going to put on these little tassels here just to break up that blue color and the armor that he has on him. I'm going to go around, take a look. I'm also going to do parts of his helmet. I'm gonna do it's like, yeah, so like it's got like this like feathery look on the helmet, so I decided to do it with that paint. And these metallic paints, don't get me wrong, I love them, they're great. Some of them are a little harder to work with, some are a little easier, but they are a great set if you do not have them. One of my subscribers won a whole set back in December for Christmas, just because she's a subscriber. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You never know, I could do some more giveaways in the future. And I might even do some giveaways just for members at some point. So do consider joining the channel. And look out for those special perks coming up throughout the year. Alright, some blue tone now. We're going to go on everything that's blue. So of course the cape and his plumage there, and all that dressing all around the sides. But I'm not going to touch that Azure Magic. I'm leaving it as is, nice and shiny. And like I said, I'm not doing a wash on any of the armor. I'm putting, I'm putting a little bit of blue tone on that shield just in front in the little creases there. And there you have it. The Polemarch is painted and ready for the table to lead the city-states into battle. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.